The age of adapting Disney animated classics is upon us, and as of recent news, Disney's Hercules is next in line. Of course, one of the original actors from the famous Disney classic wants to be included in the live adaptation too. For today's episode, we're sharing with you how Danny DeVito is eager to join Hercules live-action film, so keep watching if you don't want to miss out. Danny DeVito, who played Phil in the original animated movie, is excited to work on the live-action Hercules movie. In perhaps the most Danny DeVito-like manner imaginable, Danny DeVito has recently expressed his interest in contributing to the next live-action Hercules movie. In a recent interview with Wired, the actor who provided the voice for the witty satyr Philoctetes, often known as Phil in the 1997 Disney animated picture, expressed interest in the impending endeavor. Quote, "If they don't put me in that, they don't have a hair on their..." DeVito firmly expressed in the interview and even claimed that he's the live-action Hercules. The smug, self-assured remark alone ought to provide sufficient justification for bringing the actor back to the next production. The quote perfectly sums up Phil's persona, who in the 1997 movie transformed the super-strong Hercules from zero to hero. And to be fair to DeVito, except for the goat legs and horns, it's nearly impossible to tell Phil Hercules' trainer and sidekick from DeVito. For many of DeVito's millennial admirers, who would subsequently support the actor in films like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, his role is almost as legendary as the original movie itself. DeVito's currently employed on the FXX sitcom Little Demon as a producer and voice actor playing Satan. The show will debut on FXX on August 25th, 2022. Aubrey Plaza and his daughter Lucy DeVito are also featured in the show. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mel Brooks are among the guest stars on the brand new series. Guy Ritchie, who also helmed the live-action Aladdin adaptation, is directing the upcoming Hercules film. For the live-action movie Aladdin, Will Smith replaced Robin Williams in the renowned role of the genie. As of now, Hercules has not been cast with any comparable illustrious names. The new live-action version was first announced in June. It was previously stated that the live-action remake of Hercules would give the traditional tale of Hercules, the powerful son of Zeus, a contemporary twist. The new movie will be produced by Anthony and Joe Russo, while Dave Callahan authored the initial draft of the script. Whether Danny DeVito will actually work on the new project remains to be seen. And since we're already at it, let's talk about how Hercules was the real hero of Disney's Renaissance era despite being a box office bomb during the 90s. The animated version of the Greek epic by Ron Clements and John Musker needed to be a big blockbuster, but its poor box office performances hides many of its enduring virtues. To launch their 35th animated film, Walt Disney Animation Studios commandeered Manhattan's Times Square on the evening of June 14, 1997. The New Amsterdam Theater, which had just been reopened to host the musical The Lion King, hosted the world premiere of Hercules. Among dancing performances and star guests, right outside the renowned 42nd Street was traversed by the Main Street Electrical Parade. Two new vessels were unveiled in celebration of the movie that everyone is assembled to celebrate during this procession of floats that has been flown from Disneyland in California to New York City for the event. For those who want to catch a glimpse of the newest member of the Disney Pantheon, a wisecracking family story about a certain Greek demigod returning to Mount Olympus, voiced by Tate Donovan, it was a promotional event fit for the gods that was broadcast live throughout the nation. Such obnoxious marketing stunts weren't even typical for Disney's summer tentpoles. Rather, what the House of Mouse was doing for Hercules was as determined, even desperate, extra push for a movie that needed to outperform its predecessor. Hercules had a ton of pressure on its rippling shoulders as the sequel to the underwhelming The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which underwhelmed and probably suffered from its mature themes. 25 years later, the bizarre interpretation of valor and the cult of celebrity through reshaped mythology is rarely cited as a pillar of the 1990s Renaissance era that preserved Disney's animation sector, which is a mistake. With a worldwide revenue of more than $1 billion in 1994, The Lion King set a stunning precedent for the kind of box office results an animated film could produce. However, Disney's Hamlet version set in the savannah would turn out to be somewhat of an anomaly, with its success being very difficult to duplicate. Hercules came out after the studio tried to gain prestige with ideas that were more solemn and historically significant, such as the House of Mouse's adaptation of Pocahontas 1995 and Hunchback 96, the latter of which was based on literary classics that few people would have thought fit the category of children's entertainment. Disney needed a genuine smash. The fact that Hercules had hit director Ron Clements and John Musker, who established themselves themselves as certified hitmakers, with The Little Mermaid 1989 and Aladdin 1992, allowed for everyone to have high expectations. Was it a hit or a miss then? In all honesty, not enough people showed interest and the movie simply didn't bring in enough money. During a franchise-filled summer, Hercules earned a total of $99.1 million domestically. It performed better than the 1990 sequel to The Rescuers from 1977, The Rescuers Down Under, which had the lowest box office earnings of any WDAS movie of the 1990s. Hercules took in even less money than Hunchback, $100.1 million, not more. Warner Bros. Released Batman and Robin, and Universal released The Lost World Jurassic Park in the weeks leading up to its broad release on June 17, 1997. Both films catered to comparable, if slightly older, demographics. The fact that sequels to successful mega properties had to compete with an original animated effort revealed the direction the industry was headed and what has since come to be accepted in 21st century Hollywood. Producer of Hercules, Alice Dewey, said at the time to the Los Angeles Times about how live-action superheroes were dominating animated stories. Quote, "You can do Batman and all these event movies and get away with anything," Dewey told Los Angeles Times. "I don't know when it swapped over, but live action has become the cartoon and we've become the art film." Her words today seem like a chilling prophecy for the current entertainment scene, which Disney and its content factories have largely become responsible for. Although Hercules has been branded as a box office bust, there are still key points in the movie we have to praise, especially since its creator's last-ditch effort to gain traction. During the time of Hercules, marketing played a significant role in the studio's struggle for audience attention. Disney went ahead and licensed the characters, banking on this ancillary revenue, although Hunchback of Notre Dame toys had remained on the shelf for a year, and made merchants hesitant about stocking up on Hercules-related merchandise. Disney, however, had a turning point when Hercules became their first film to profit from the company's connection with the fast food chain McDonald's. This may be what gave them a bit of a leg up, at least among the youngest of consumers. Herc himself, along with all the other characters, entered your Happy Meals in this way. The fact that Hercules was at the center of the merchandising conflicts of its era will always feel like a turn of events that heighten the meta aspect of the drama being told on screen. Muscular Herc rapidly becomes a megastar when he annihilates some of the most dreaded mythical creatures in the land. Much to Hades' dismay, Hercules is shown being transformed into a money-printing brand through merchandise deals like Michael Jordan, the demigod peddling his own brand of aerodynamic sandals. Air Hercs, in a musical montage set to the tune of Zero to Hero, one of acclaimed composer Alan Menken's song for this Greek tragedy, all are purchased by a loyal legion of adoring admirers. The muses make it very obvious that the hunk's rise to fame was a lucrative endeavor for both him and those around him when they sing, quote, "From appearance fees and royalties, our Herc had cash to burn. Now novo rich and famous, he could tell what a Grecian earn." When Herc himself holds up a doll of his chiseled figure and screams, "I'm an action figure!" The movie's retro commentary on our celebrity infatuation and how corporations profit from its hits its funniest moment. Aside from the financial discussion, the global release of Hercules also serves as a reminder that, contrary to what those unwilling to reconsider their positions would have you believe, outrage caused by the representation of a particular genre or group on screen is not a sign of 21st century wokeness. Even though it's undeniably true that social media heightens our awareness of the problem viewers have with popular media, vociferous complaints about the Disneyfication of regional stories without much regard for their narrative origins have been made for a very long time. The movie was retitled Beyond the Myth of Heracles, giving the hero his original Greek name, to make sure the Greek spectators understood that Disney's Hercules was a loose version of the sacred myth and not a historically accurate undertaking. As much as we'd like to discuss Hercules further, we're already out of time, so that'll be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on.